were things in the build-up to the fight?
In the build-up, things are as they should have been. Training's like a lifestyle for me, so I never have an issue with preparation. If you put me and Ruiz in a machine, 9 times out of 10 I should beat him, and that was just his night.
Yeah.
He got the win, and we get to do it again at the end of the year.
I've probably watched this fight like 10 times already.
Yes.
And I don't watch fights often when I've seen the fight already. I kind of give it some time to marinate and I'll go back to it.
What's interesting with you saying that is me beating Ruiz, you wouldn't have watched that fight again. So with this fight here, I feel like where I've been fighting for so many years, when I come into the boxing arena, it was like I was steamrolling through. So it was just, Josh was going to fight, boom, knock him out.
Yeah.
So from walking into a gym to 3 years later competing at the Olympics, from turning professional to 3 years later becoming world champion, it seemed like this was already written in the stars. Yeah. But I think behind the scenes, it's like the efforts and the education and the mind training that it takes to develop these skills or capabilities to be in that position are tiring.
When it's all said and done, the fans, most of them, only see a few clips of you training and then fight night.
Correct.
They don't see the hard graft, the hard sparring. They don't.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I was letting you guys listen to a segment of JD Sports' interview with Anthony Joshua. He does another interview in depth on what happened that night. Now, he had a pretty good breakdown on his own channel with what happened and all the circumstances and things that happened through the course of that night, which he took his first L. Now, he's on JD Sports, and he explained that this was destined to happen. He couldn't really get himself mentally prepared for someone that he didn't want to fight. But what he did say about this, he was saying that he was worried about being undisputed. He was worried about Wilder. He was worried about Tyson Fury. He was worried about other fighters besides this fight. So it was hard to get up for this guy. Now he knows that this is 100%. This is the fight that he knows he has to win. And he says, I need those belts back. That's the gist of the video. And he has a newfound motivation to get those belts back, because those belts are something that he lost, something that he, for my understanding, took for granted, because he didn't feel, regardless of what he said, and how he worded things, he didn't feel the urgency or the energy to fight Andy Ruiz the same way he would have fought Deontay Wilder or Klitschko or Tyson Fury, because those fights meant a lot more than this fight above him. Like he said that, well, if I would have beat Ruiz, this would have been a fight that no one else cared for. I 100% agree. I agree 100%. If he would have went out there and knocked out Andy Ruiz, we wouldn't have been talking about Ruiz. We wouldn't have been talking about Anthony Joshua concerning Ruiz. You know what I mean? That's just another guy, on the list of people that he's beaten. But he's figured out now that he has to get the belts back. Again, it's a newfound sense of motivation. He knows who he's fighting. He knows his opponent. He gets to do this all over again, And he failed that test the last time because he didn't prepare for that particular test. He was looking at other tests, right? It's hard to be focusing on the ACT when you're over here thinking about being a fireman in the civil service exam. You see what I'm saying? So you are not focusing on one objective, okay? And in this interview, it's a lot else. I'm going to put the link below so you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it. A lot of that time after the third round, he said he was on autopilot. When he got hit with that shot, that was a perfect shot to his dome. He said his legs went out. He was fighting on 80%. And then after the fourth round, the fifth round, now he was fighting at 40%, right? Then it was like a decline. It was just something that he never recovered from. That punch shocked him. And he made the mistake of trying to take Ruiz out when he shouldn't have been. throwing punches at the wrong time. Like we all know, somebody that tall should not be that close to somebody that short. I'm sorry, that does not work that way. You know, So it doesn't work that way whatsoever. And he did mention that the ref was a big portion of that. Now, you've known Anthony Joshua not to have any excuses, but he did say this, and I think he honestly felt this. The referee, told him to come to him. He took 2 steps forward. They walked through the whole process in this interview. That's why it's important for you guys to check this out and see for yourself. But he walks forward. Then the referee pushed him back, and he asked him if he's ready to go. He put his arms back on the fucking ropes because he was so exhausted, right? And he was looking at his mouthpiece, and before he could do that, he just waved off the fight. How Anthony Joshua explained it, he says, well, I've been in this game a long time. You have to give me the opportunity, at least put the mouthpiece back in my mouth, because that's a part of my equipment that I need to fight. So you have to put it back in my mouth to see if I'm able to fight. You didn't even do that. You told me to come forward. I walked forward. Then you pushed me back, so I put my hands on the rope. You asked me if I'm ready to go. I said, yeah, I'm ready to go. I shook my head, yeah. And then you waved off the fight without even putting the fucking mouthpiece back in my mouth. That's how he explained it. And it makes sense to me looking at it again and again. And a lot of people thought that he quit. Then now they're changing their minds because the referee was really unclear of what he wanted him to do. You don't tell him, okay, come forward. He comes forward. Then he looks over. He pushes him back, right? Then he asks him, okay, you ready to continue? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, right? So he looks down at the mouthpiece, and then he says, no, we're not even doing anything. And how Anthony Joshua explained it is like, well, that's just like asking me, am I ready to go without fucking with one glove on my hand? It makes no sense. So I have to bring that to the forefront because those are the things that happened, and it was bizarre that Anthony Joshua didn't dispute that more, or at least his team or his corner. Sure, we know he went down 4 times, but like also what was explained in this video was Anthony Joshua saying, hey, I'd rather go out on my back than the way it went out. Even if people thought that it was going to happen anyway, which I think that was probably more than likely going to happen because the last knockdown was mediocre. That reminded me of when Khan got hit over the top of the head by Danny Garcia in his last knockdown, right? And the punch didn't seem that hard. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much resistance. It wasn't any resistance. Somebody should have been raising hell and flipping cars over shit when you stopped the fight that early if it was that way. You know what I mean? But for him stopping the fight like that, I would not have agreed with 100%. But again, that is the referee, and he does call the shots, just like it was Jack Reese's decision to count to 9 and then wait for Tyson Fury to get up, or to count the way he counts, right? To give the fighter the benefit of the doubt. Some referees do, some referees don't. Okay, that's the difference between referees. Okay, everyone has their own mindset. Okay, but anyway, no, it's a very good video, but the gist of the video is he's motivated to get his belts back. Again, this was from JD Sports. I'll leave the link below. You guys tell me what you think about this particular video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.